Hey, welcome back to the Jeep Barn. Today, I'm kicking off a brand new project on Rusty. This I actually recorded a couple of weeks ago. And I'm gonna be honest with you right out of the gate. I've never worked with fiberglass before. This is a total first for me. Now, I had a plan, I did my research, and I thought I knew exactly how it was gonna go. But as you're about to see, reality had other ideas. Things didn't go as planned, and I definitely hit some roadblocks on this attempt. But that is the spirit of the barn. We're a DIY channel, and it's good to get your hands dirty and figure it out as you go. We all make mistakes, especially when we're learning a new skill. And I'm committed to showing you the whole process, the good, the bad, and the parts I'd rather hide. So if you've ever been nervous about trying something new on your own rig, stick around. You're going to see exactly what happens when a first-timer takes on fiberglass, the mistakes I made, and how we're going to push through it. Welcome to the start of the build. So in my previous video, I talked about how we're going to work on the fastback on this hardtop. This is a stock CJ7 hardtop, and we're going to make this bad boy a fastback. So what I've got my angle finder here. I'm going to run it off when it's pretty close to the same angle that I have on the roll cage. So right here, I'm looking at 42.8 degrees. I bring it back here to the hardtop, and I'm at 45. So it's within 2 degrees of the same angle that my roll cage is. I didn't keep another piece out of the original hardtop, so it's not all going to be new fiberglass. Maybe a little bit more work, but it's going to look a lot more consistent. So if you lay this up here, we're going to have to do a lot more trim work, but I think it's going to work out really cool. As you can see, we're going to have to do some more trim work there. Got a pretty big gap that's going to have to come together there. But I've pretty much got a line all the way across the hardtop that I want to follow. And once again, we're going to have to trim it out there. So first things first, I've got to take out all that interior that I put in there to show you guys. All right, I got the other Jeep moved out of the way because let's be real, it's going to be dusty. Time to put on the bunny suit. I know this is going to be itchy, and this is not too fun to wear. My glasses keep fogging up because it's cool outside. We'll see what we can do. Let's start with some 80 grit on my Harbor Freight sander. Once again, this is a DIY channel. Let me get in here and show you guys what I'm doing. So basically what I'm doing, I'm sanding this area here, in this area here. This is where that fiberglass, I'm really going to want the adhesion. So we're really going to sand that down. We're going to sand down the top here. And this part is going to eventually be cut out. All this is going to be cut out so that it flows in with the other top. Once we get once we get some of the fiberglass work. With this top being the middle piece, I think I'm probably going to have to go ahead and sand the whole thing down. That way it's nice and smooth. Like I said, I'm hitting it with the 80 grit. So this is all going to be smoothed over anyway. It's a little rougher than you think, and it didn't want to come loose, so I brought out the big guns. As you can see, guys, we've got some pretty good places for that fiberglass to adhere to. It's going to all need to be bodywork when we're done anyway. So what we're going to do next is get some of that Beast Bond epoxy and some of that fiberglass mat. And we're going to start laying it down to make it nice and smooth and be that fastback hardtop. All right, guys, as you can see, I kind of got some things set up this morning. I did some measurements, got everything squared up. We're 42 3/4 inches from the top of that section of the hardtop to the bottom. Same thing on the other side, pretty square on that. And then I left an 1.5 inch gap on either side that we're going to just cover up with the fiberglass. So that's kind of where we are right now. Let's go ahead and unbox this epoxy resin kit from Beast Bond. So looks like we got some mixing cups, and we have the hardener, and we have the resin. Let's see what else we got in here. Oh, looks like some gloves, some spreaders, and some other odds and ends. We'll go ahead and continue with the unboxing. So we got these cups here, got our mixing cups. Get that box out of the way. I may have grown up in a garage, but I've never laid fiberglass down before. So we're learning this at the same time, guys. Now that I'm really looking at this, I think I'm gonna go ahead and come in here and sawzall what I'm not gonna need out, just to help clean up after I get this fiberglass laid down. Kind of a general idea. Remove what we don't need. So I'm just using my my good old Harbor Freight sawzall here. So I'll get in here and do some sawzalling. All right, now that I got all that extra part sawzalled out, it's actually a pretty good piece. So let's make sure everything lines up again. 42 and a half. 42 and a half. Let's see what we got here now. Got about a 1/4 inch on that side. We've got way more than that on this side. So let's move it the other way, just a smidge. Go 1/2. And right about there. Looks like we're pretty even all around here. Make sure we're still good. 42 and a half. 42 and a half. Looks like we're all good to go to start laying down some of this fiberglass. I'm trying to keep as many of these original lines of the CJ7 top as I can as I go. So try to get it around that corner. We're gonna go around this corner. It's like we got a pretty good piece here. Probably a little too much, but I'm gonna trim that down with a pair of scissors. May not be pretty, but hopefully it turns out well. I got that fiberglass mat laid out before we really even start mixing anything. Hopefully got some good coverage, gonna have some good support in there. I think I may carry the fiberglass mat a little bit more up the top. 1-to-1 on this. At least that's what the good old instructions say. Like I said, this is my first time doing it. Yes, 1 part resin, 1 part hardener by volume. So these things are graduated to 500 milliliters. I'm gonna probably go 200 and 200. So I have 400 milliliters in the container. There's our 200 of the resin. Get our little stir going on here. And now we're going to do 200 of the hardener. To stir slowly. I'm not too worried about air bubbles on this first round. We're really going to have to be careful with it on the second coat of this. And we'll also do body work on this. So we're going to end up, we'll do some body filler on top of it too. All right, let's get on some gloves and start playing with some epoxy resin or some fiberglass resin. Definitely don't want to get this stuff on you guys. May not be the right thing to use, but I'm going to use these foams. I'm just going to start here in the middle. Start in the middle, and then we're going to move out to either side. See if this spreader works any better. That actually is working a lot better. Just getting that spreader in there. Gets it down in that fiberglass mat, and I do believe our whole situation shifted. So at least we got time to work with it. All you professional fiberglass guys out there are probably laughing at me right now, but I'm going to fumble through it. All right, let's mix up some more. Ooh, this one's really shifted on this side. What'd you guys tell me about that? Pick up the mat on this side, under there. All right, now let's lay down this layer of mat. More. And while I'm trying to do this, guys, I really am trying to keep those shapes of that hardtop in this fiberglass as much as possible. So as you can see, I'm really just kind of pushing it down into those body lines along that rear hatch. All right, time for another cupful. Flip that side over. Once again, guys, we're gonna have to do some body work on this thing. It's not gonna be pretty right off the bat. And who knows, it may not ever be pretty, but you know what? We're giving it a try. And it's like I said, it's something that I've never seen anyone do. And there's probably a reason why. I think that's as much damage as I can do on that side. Let's see what we can do on this side now. We're not looking for perfection on this round. We're just looking to get it stuck down to the hard top. And get it so it's a little bit more structurally sound so we can work with it. We'll go for pretty in future videos. Right now, we're just getting it on there. Just get it into some kind of shape so we can shape it with our contour tool and our sander. All right. One of those things where you got to know enough is enough when you've worked it. And you just got to let it be. So thanks, guys. Like I said, this is going to be the first kind of build series on this CJ7. I'm going to try to do this hard top. This is the first step. Just kind of roughing it in, just like anything. We got to start from somewhere to get somewhere. So that's where we're going to leave it with on this one. All right. I know what you're thinking. This looks like a total disaster, and you're right. The fiberglass never fully cured, and my first attempt was a mess. But that's okay. Spoiler alert for the next video in this series, I actually figured out why the fiberglass never hardened. We're tearing the caution tape off this project. I'm going to show you how I changed it up and turned this nightmare into a solid shell. You won't believe the difference a little temperature control, working in the sun, and better mixing ratio makes. Hey guys, so if you don't want to miss the rest of this project and the redemption I get on this hard top, You're gonna wanna like, share, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you know when I drop that next video. Thanks you guys, and see you in the next one.